Hi, I'm Bran, and I love the Chicken Sisters.
Hi, I'm Jax, and I like the Chicken Sisters.
I'm Dan, and I despise the Chicken Sisters, and this is the Deck the Hallmark Podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Dan and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
To be fair,
hello.
that's how some people feel when they listen.
To us?
Yeah, they're like, oh, Deck the Hallmark, huh?
No, I get it. It was an accident, but it was funny. And there's something, our hands are tied. There's nothing we can do.
There's nothing we can do. It's produced by Aaron Shea,
That's
is
right.
what I have to say. At the end
Happy
of this.
Friday, everybody. Happy
Yeah.
double release day for Deck the Hallmark because
Boom.
we are serious content creators.
Yes, we are.
And we are serious critics. And if Hallmark's going to put out
We're
two
journalists,
episodes in
we're
1
critics,
week,
we're content creators.
we have not.
JCC.
There's nothing that we can do but cover both of them this week. We're very excited about that. Jax, hello, welcome back. It's been a minute.
I'm thrilled to be back, even though I was the second choice to cover this series.
Well, I don't know if that's true.
Well, no, that is not. I think
No, maybe that's not true. Maybe I wasn't second. Maybe I was further down the
you
list.
were fifth or sixth.
You weren't a
but-
part of any of those meetings, and there's no way for you to know.
Well, no, what happened was she asked, and we said that someone else was doing it. That's
Okay.
why she's saying this. And then we realized that you were going to do something different on Hallmark Plus, and we're like, it makes more sense to switch it.
Right.
So
We told Tyler Hines to kick rocks
that's right.
because
Tyler,
Jax is coming.
get it on out of here.
That's right. He had agreed. He said, "I don't know what the show's about. I'll come on. I'll review it with you." And we said, "Oh, sorry, buddy."
At the end of the day, most Hallmark content is for males, but since it said sister in the title, we needed a woman to be on
That's
the
right.
show.
We had
You
to
the
figured
thing.
you needed. Yeah. I am a sister.
That's right. Yes.
Well,
yes.
yeah. If Hallmark's going to branch out, we have to branch out too.
That's
So-
right. Yeah, we got to start
Absolutely.
including
It's gonna
everybody. and also, I'm going to need help because Bran is so in love with Leah Thompson.
Right.
He is. It's crazy. The way he talks about Leah Thompson is not okay for this podcast.
I don't blame you a bit, Bran. She is a gosh darn delight, and she's really shown out in this first episode.
Hey, Brian, did you just turn on the heat, bud? He just turned on the heat.
He did. It's real cold in our office.
We talked about
And
taking
we're not
it.
turning the heat on.
We talked about taking it to the tape, doing the Chicken Sisters taking it to the tape. And I said, I don't think I can. I have to be able to watch it in privacy. You know?
Yeah. I mean, do we have any clips of me
Yeah.
recording you?
Yeah, you do. We do have.
We
Clips.
do have
Yeah,
those?
yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and cue one of those up.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever heard you talk about a
No,
woman.
what happened was, I know. Normally he does this about the dudes, so it is weird when
Yeah.
Brandon does. We were Next Stop Christmas, the movie with Leah Thompson in it, the time travel train. During the preview episode, Brand said Leah Thompson, and then what'd you say after?
I don't know.
You went like you just said like, oh my god, like
Yeah, I
Leah
said, oh my-
Thompson. You
yes.
kidding me?
Yeah.
And from that point forward, we're like Brand is obsessed with Leah Thompson.
And I don't know if you know this about us, Jax,
But
but
sometimes when you do
we say
something-
something and then we
Yeah.
just have to double and triple and quadruple
You
down.
have to.
And
It's like me with whales. I say I hate whales. It's probably a little bit of an exaggeration,
What?
but for this show,
an exaggeration.
is he here even with the
Yeah.
Chicken Sisters?
Yeah.
Really? Whale
Yeah.
guy is here?
I don't mind.
What are you doing on the line?
Just keeping you accountable, bud.
Thanks,
Accountable whaler buddies.
Accountability whale buddies.
That's exactly right. So you're saying
How do you feel about Leah Thompson?
Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. But you're saying you don't mind? You don't mind whales?
Whales aren't my favorite, but they're probably not as bad as I've been saying.
Okay, it's a start.
It's a start.
It's a start.
Thank
They're
you.
beautiful creatures.
Thank you, whale guy.
They're
Appreciate
beautiful
that.
creatures.
I don't think Jax knows who whale guy is. That's my favorite part of this.
Imagine Leah Thompson and a whale in a room.
All right.
It's
Real weird.
all of God's best creations. You know what I mean? Whale guy out.
Maybe for good. Maybe we're retiring whale guy right now.
No, please don't, because although I don't know who Whale Guy is, I would say that was one of the more realistic characterizations, and I appreciated it.
Here's the whole thing with Whale Guy is I say something mean about whales, and it turns out we have a guy on the line who is there to talk about whales being awesome.
He's a whale.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
He's a whale
the
expert.
extent of it. It doesn't go any deeper
more to
than that.
know.
That's it. We've been doing it
more to know.
for a decade.
You heard one. You've heard one. You've heard them all.
That's right. Yeah.
We were very excited though. Chicken Sisters launched on Tuesday alongside Hallmark Plus, and it all happened smoothly. It seemed the launch of that app.
Yeah, it did.
We've already talked about the Jane. We've talked about the Dune Bay, and it all leads to this.
That's right.
The new big show.
I mean, look, Jane Mysteries, Love on the Danube, these are big, but the cast of Chicken Sisters.
massive. It's massive.
Wendy Malick, Leah Thompson. This is the big show, right? This is what we're
Yeah,
doing.
so.
absolutely.
I think
And am I saying her name right? Schuyler Fisk, Sissy Spacek's daughter.
Is it Schuyler? I thought it was Skylar, but I don't know.
Skylar? No, you're probably right. I really just know
I
it
hope
from
it's
reading
Schuyler.
it, so not
That's
from saying
Sissy
it.
Spacek's daughter.
It's Sissy Spacek's daughter.
That makes a ton of sense.
And Genevieve Engelson is she did the Broadway cast of Vanya and Sonia, Masha and Spike. She played Nina, a role that I went on for critical acclaim at a regional production, not quite Broadway, but whatever.
Not quite Broadway in QB. Yeah, not quite Broadway. Regional
All the way in
production.
Florida.
Yeah,
It was
also-
all the way in Florida.
Yeah. It was if you go to Broadway and you take a right and you go about 2,000 miles.
Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
down on your left.
Florida is the Broadway of the South. I've always said
That's
that.
right.
That's what they say.
The whole state.
But an incredible cast of actors in this. I mean, we'll get to it, but Rukia
Right.
Bernard, she's one of my favorites.
Rukia Bernard is not even
great to-
listed.
great to be
Not
back.
even
Which is,
listed.
On
come on,
IMDb.
that's a
IMDb.
darn shame right there.
Get out of here.
Hopefully they're gonna update the
Cardi
IMDb
Wong.
because it's a mess out there.
Yeah.
Cardi Wong,
Yes,
yeah.
it
Did you know anything about the show going into it, Jax?
No, I knew next to nothing. I did know that Genevieve was in it because when I Googled the cast, I was like, why do I feel like I have beef with her? And I was like, oh, I'm jealous of her. That's why. There's no beef. Genevieve, you're a gosh darn delight.
Well, that's not what that's not what I'm picking up. That was for the Florida show.
That was for, yes. I mean, she did,
She did it on Broadway.
She did it on Broadway.
She did it next to
I
Broadway.
see. Okay.
Yeah, next to, just right there.
Yeah. So close.
Well,
So close in Florida.
so close. Yeah, I could see why.
You know
maybe
what?
There'd be some beef.
Well, we, here in South Carolina, we
Yeah,
have
that
Myrtle
Greenville?
Beach, and in Myrtle Beach, one of the beaches in South Carolina,
Dirty Myrtle.
there is Broadway at the beach,
That's right.
which we all know of.
course.
So you could, in theory, if you did a play there,
want
Jax,
to.
you could hang out with us and then say that you were on Broadway at the beach.
I would be happy to do that. Just let them know if they're hiring.
This is my friend Jack. She's been on Broadway.
She's been on Broadway
On
at
the
the beach. Broadway at the beach.
So she's on
Broadway at the beach.
And maybe if you were like at a
And
playhouse
you just kinda
across the
like-
street, you could be off Broadway at the beach.
That's Broadway at the beach.
You just kind of cough at the beach. I've been on Broadway at the beach. Oh,
Broadway at the beach.
at the beach. That's exactly right.
right.
Shall we talk Chicken Sisters season 1 episode 1? I think we should. It's called.
You betcha.
All right. Jax, it's called.
Chicken or tofu.
Chicken or tofu.
Ooh,
Yeah.
both good guesses. It's called Family is Family.
Family's family.
Family is Family.
Yeah.
And originally premiered on Hallmark Plus September 10th, 2024, and it went a little something like this. Welcome to Merrineck, y'all, a small town where people know their neighbors and people are nice to your face.
Ain't that right?
There's 2 chicken stores in this small town. You might think that's too many. I don't think it's
No way.
enough. We got Mimi's, we got Franny's, and both of those restaurants were born out of a family riff a long time ago, which has turned into a serious rivalry still to this day. The folks in town take sides. You're either a Franny's person or you're a Mimi's person. It's serious business. Dan, who are you? You're
Mimi's.
I'm a Franny. Jax?
I'm a Mimi's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aaron?
Mimi?
Yeah, it's a good
God,
answer.
come
It's a good
on,
answer.
Brian.
Me.
He said Franny's.
Franny's.
He
Yeah,
said Franny's.
Franny's. Yeah.
So it's pretty serious business, as it is here in the office as well. We've all taken sides.
I've not talked to Bran since.
I know.
And Jax, if you could tell Bran,
Well, I'm not talking to her.
you're right. That's true.
I'm not talking to any of you
Yeah, that's right.
apparently in
Yeah.
here. This is just for you at
Franny's,
home.
get out of here.
This is all for my Franny folk at home.
Uppity SB.
Okay. So
You can't say that on this show. I just
you
realized
did.
I realized
And I don't know what you want
to
to do about it. So here
We're
we
gonna
are.
take it out. Sorry.
I mean, it's hard to say. Okay, sorry, I was a little late.
A little bit late.
I was
with
a
that.
little bit late.
A little
It's
late.
A
with
little
that.
bit late on
We
the
can
beat.
try it
There's
again
nothing
if
I
you
can
want.
do. Okay, go one more time.
Yep. You.
Oh, wow. I maybe came in a little bit too soon. I don't know. Anyway. We're having fun, aren't we? So we meet Amanda, who works at Franny's, despite her mom running Mimi's. And that's a pretty big deal. The reason why she left Mimi's and her mom is because she met
Frank
a
Jr.
Franny's boy, Frank Jr. And once you marry a Franny's boy, there's no turning back. Her mom told her that she made her choice. No going back on that. Years later, Amanda is less than happy. You know, she's having a tough time running. She's helping run the restaurant. Her marriage is, who can say? And she's just feeling a little sad. And so she's scrolling the socials, as you do at night, and she sees a video calling for warring restaurants to apply for the next season of Kitchen Clash. On a whim, she applies, and they find out that they are in. The problem? Amanda hasn't talked to her mama in years, and she's going to have to get her on board if they're going to actually do this thing. So it's going to be an uphill battle. Her mom says that she will do it, but she's going to need her daughter by her side. Her real daughter, not Amanda. She's going to need her other daughter, May. May doesn't do chicken anymore. She has a TV show called Sparkling, where she goes in with her partner and they organize houses. Amanda tries to convince her big city sister to come back to that small town. She's not interested in coming back. She's kind of embarrassed by it all. There's a new guy working at Mimi's named Sergio, and anytime he's around, the tension between Amanda and Sergio is off the charts. And I don't really know what to do with that because she's married, but this is Hallmark Plus.
It's Hallmark Plus. All bets are off.
Maybe Hallmark Plus is pro-affair. I don't know.
They don't have a bleep button.
We'll
on
find. We'll
Hallmark
find
Plus.
out. They don't. They come up with an idea, or she comes up with her and Sergio come up with this idea that maybe if they tell her mom that they're going to split it evenly, no matter who wins or loses, she would be more prone to say yes without May being involved in the show. Frank Jr. is like, hard pass. I'm not giving up 50% of my money that I'm going to win because Franny's is better. So deal's done, right? No. Frank Jr. tells the TV crew to come anyway.
What?
It's going to be harder for her to say no if the crew's already here. But you know who else comes anyway? May comes anyway. After finding out that the network doesn't want her to be a part of the show anymore, she has a bit of a panic attack, and so she decides she's going to come home anyway, and she's going to make this happen. The episode ends with Sabrina, the teenage witch, and the TV host counting down to the start of the show, and the camera begins to zoom in on all of the big storylines that are going to be happening this season. And that, my friends, was
The Chicken Sisters, Season 1, Episode 1, Family is Family. We did it.
Woo! Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll break this episode down here on Deck the Hallmark.
There it is.
We're back. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking Chicken Sisters. It's finally here. The day has finally come for
And
the
yesterday
Chicken
they
Sisters.
released the Hallmark schedule, so you know it's just one of those weeks.
Buddy, I'm sorry.
One of those weeks.
Tough break for you.
Oh, you know, you're sorry, huh?
Tough break for you.
Okay.
Chicken Sisters, Season 1, Episode 1 is what we're talking about today. Family is Family. Our thoughts on it? Let's find out. I'm going to start with Jack since she is our resident sister. What did you think? What did you think about Season 1, Episode 1, Family's Family?
Okay, so the first 4 minutes of this episode were rough for me. It felt really hokey. It made me feel dirty and sad inside when the woman was like, they said she was bouncing in front of the pastor, and I was like, this feels very sexual. I don't like Frank Jr. Not in a way that like he has any redeemable qualities. Like, there's nothing there. I actually think he's just a jerk, and I don't want him on my screen. But then Rukia Bernard appears for Kitchen Wars. She's fun. It's all happening. And then the rest of the episode, it was just joy after joy from that point on. So they hooked me. I can't wait for episode 2. I'm really excited. I think the acting is really good. I think the writing is great. I'm invested in this story. But boy, howdy, the first 4 minutes were rough for me.
Wow. Interesting take there.
It is an interesting take.
But 38 minutes worked for you.
38 out of the 42.
38 minutes worked, but the first 4, I
There
was
you
like,
go.
I would stop watching this if I didn't
Wow.
have to review with my boys.
There you
Okay,
go.
fair enough. I wouldn't have stopped because I was really enjoying it. Right out of the gate, listen, I went into this relatively blind. I hadn't watched any of the trailers, teasers, whatever. I knew the little synopsis that I had read on one show at some point, but I like going into these shows a little blind because it's kind of fun. You know, that we had fun with The Way Home going
We
in.
didn't know it was a
it's
time travel show.
People were like,
Yeah.
how did you not know? That's the fun of it. You go in blind. People might think we're lazy, and maybe, but I say it's better to go in blind so you don't have expectations. I went in blind as a bat is long, and you get what I'm saying. And it's a really long bat is what I'm trying to say. Like
So
Sammy
long.
Sosa. So I was pleasantly surprised. I thought that it was quick. I thought that it was funny. I thought that it was a little bit scandalous. Hallmark Plus out here just doing stuff right out of the gate. And to Jack's point, Jack's felt a little dirty watching it. I felt like, is this a Hallmark?
You're
I
just
don't know
a-
what's
you're
going
just a
on.
dirty boy.
I'm a dirty boy, and so it didn't bother me, but I can understand. I think there might be some people that are used to their squeaky clean Hallmark that might put this on and be like, am I in the right place? And I understand.
This is Hallmark Plus,
This
baby.
is Hallmark Plus, and the plus is
Sex and language.
a handful of hells, some sexual innuendo, and a real good time. So overall, really pleased with episode 1 of the Chicken Sisters. Family is family. I've always said that. Dano?
I saw Blind as a Bat as Long on off Broadway at the beach.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. I said when we Blad there. I also wrote down 4 minutes in my hot take. It is in the first 4 minutes, you get 2 dams and 2 hells in the first 4 minutes of this television program. I couldn't believe it. I know. Yeah, it serves us right. The first 4 minutes, Hallmark is letting you know, welcome to Hallmark Plus. This is not the show that would be airing on Hallmark. We're going to kind of do our own thing here. There's sexual tension between 2 people that one of them is married. Also something you wouldn't see on Hallmark. All of that was kind of shocking and jarring. I think by and large, this show does what it's trying to do. It's not for me, but it's a show that is and it's accomplishing what it's setting out to do because the acting is by and large really, really good. I actually think the only Southern accent that doesn't sound authentic to me is Leah Thompson's.
Bite your tongue.
Listen, Leah Thompson is a
How
national
dare you.
treasure, but from a standpoint of this show is supposed to take place in the South, they don't ever give a state, but they say the South numerous times in the show. And you feel that. Skylar Fisk is my favorite. She's unbelievable in this show. She's really, really good. Wendy Malick, always great, especially great here. Yeah, I'm not saying when it ended, I was where Bram was, who was literally clapping when the episode ended, but I wasn't mad. You know, when Ride happened, I was mad. This is definitely not Ride. It is a show that
Even though Tough from Tough and the Tough Tones is in the show.
Tough from the Tough Tones is in this show.
not
Again,
Ride.
they have one dude who is Southern and gay that they can put in these shows clearly.
They have found the
and
one.
they have found him, and they're going to use him. So Tough's in here. This show's better than Ride. I care about the characters enough to be interested to keep watching. Although if I was not reviewing it for this show, it probably would have been a one and done. But the acting's good. The drama's there. Rukia Bernard, didn't know she was going to be in the show. She's clearly going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So a lot of positives.
You
here.
wouldn't give it one more go after this one?
I wouldn't.
No,
I wouldn't.
I would.
But that's not.
I
Because,
feel
it's just
like
not, me.
with
Not for me.
with everything you said, Dan, everything you said, Bran, I sound like a prude. I'm not a prude.
Yeah, and we
It-
know
I-
this.
I
when
don't
Jax
mind-
comes to visit, we've got to watch our language. That's the first thing. We've got to watch our language, and then also just how we speak, because things can be. She just it's tough with.
Bring
Jax
the soap
around.
in. We'll chew on the soap for the next.
I called him an uppity AB earlier. I'm really sorry about that.
And it hurt. It hurt too.
It hurt.
Yeah.
It hurt.
Let's get to the feels. We're talking about what in this episode gave us feels. Jax?
I got some sad feels, but I really liked the way it landed. When Wendy Malick tells Amanda to get her daughter, and she's talking about May, I was like, oh, woof, because you saw, to your point, Dan, of how good Skylar Fisk is in this. You just see this quick little moment that she has where she's like, oh, wow, my mom's coming around to me again. And it's not a big moment. It's so tiny, but it's just so beautiful. And then I had laughing feels, humorous feels.
Okay, sure.
With probably one of my favorite lines I have ever heard on Hallmark Channel, which is when Amanda is talking to her sister May on the phone, and May is talking about boundaries, and Amanda says, well, somebody's insurance covers therapy. I thought it was chef's kiss. Brilliant.
Yes.
So funny. Love that moment, and I want more of where that's coming from, and I think this show is going to deliver that for us.
The sad feels that you mentioned, what I think part of what makes that so great is it's not like May's around, right? Like May still chose to leave the family. But the fact that she can come back, because it doesn't really matter what she did as long as she doesn't go to Franny's.
Yeah, to me,
like that's the thing.
To Franny's.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like it's like the only way that you could get out of my good graces is by going to Franny's, and that's tough. That's a tough break over there. Listen, I don't. Again, we're one episode in. I don't know where this Amanda Sergio thing is going to go,
Holy
I don't
moly.
know if it was. I don't know. Was it? I'm just. It's not what I'm used to with Hallmark, and so I'm like, maybe I'm misreading it. Maybe something.
No.
Maybe I'm off base.
There's no way to
here.
misread it. It was in large print and all highlighted.
I know.
Like if I have a critique, it's not that they're doing this. Good for them for doing it. It's that they meant to sprinkle in a little bit of possible tension, and they just dumped the whole bucket in. Like it is literally unmissable.
Yeah.
These two, like locking eyes, run into each other. It's crazy how hard they go this early with it. Listen, I will. I'm not expecting anything. It's still Hallmark. You don't think they're getting together?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how they're not allowed on Hallmark. I don't think they're allowed. I think the FCC is going to get complaints. I don't know how they're going to do this. It's like it'll be like. On the FCC, like how many are like complaints they've gotten? It's going to be the Janet Jackson incident, and then this.
That's right.
And I don't really know what to do.
No one's called since that Super Bowl.
No one's called since that Super Bowl.
The interesting thing is, though, Hallmark doesn't really have a problem with infidelity if they're just dating or engaged. But these two are married,
that's right.
and maybe Hallmark Plus is like,
They're married
we're
with
okay
their daughter.
with married infidelity. They have a daughter.
Yeah.
They're married. We see them sharing a bed together, which is like, well, this is clear. We're not watching I Love Lucy anymore. Like it's I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with this.
They go to great lengths not only to make Sergio and her their chemistry off the charts, but also to make Frank Jr.
the worst
person. And I think that's how you know.
And she is incredibly horned up, and he won't give her the time of day.
I don't know what to do with this. And I think that just that feeling of not knowing what to do with this is my feels. Like I honestly not knowing how Hallmark's going to handle this situation is exciting.
They even intimate in this show that the reason they get married is because they were young and they wanted to have sex. That's why, like literally, they say it in the show.
Which I loved.
Yes. Oh, I loved it too. But
yeah.
Just so you know, if you're listening to this and haven't watched the Chicken Sisters yet, this is what you're getting into. You're not
100%.
You're not this is not a Hallmark show.
Right.
It just isn't.
It's a lot. Dana?
Yeah, there is one. The actual best actor here is no one that I've mentioned in my hot take. This show, which Brain, did you mention this show as a narrator in your?
I did not.
Okay.
No.
This show has a narrator, and it doesn't have just any narrator. It has an absolute legend of the screen as the narrator. It's Margot Martindale, who is in two of my favorite television shows of all time, Justified, and The Americans. She is amazing. Her narration takes this show from a C- to a B+ by herself. She's so good as a narrator in this. She's even does this thing where she tells you she's pretty much omniscient, so she knows what's going to happen. The narration here is great. Margot Martindale makes it even just exponentially better.
I love a narrator.
Loved that she was doing this as a narration. She crushes it.
I like that, Dan. I like
Did you know
that a lot.
that Margot Martindale is the narrator, Jax?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The best.
That makes me, yeah, I will say that narrators can go terribly wrong, off the rails, but you're absolutely right that this is narration and show done so well.
But it also lends it credibility because Margot Martindale is Southern. Like she is like got Southern cred. And so that narration lends it some real, sometimes, you know, one of my first early memories of being like, I don't want to make this podcast anymore was when we saw the Mark Blucas Texas barbecue movie with Autumn Reeser. Yeah. And it was like, they're clearly in Canada. No one knows how to talk about football or smokers or beef brisket. It was like, what are they trying to do? And so when I first heard about the Chicken Sisters, my thought was they're going to Canada this thing up the whole way. But no, it actually does have a good Southern credibility to it, which is
Was
nice.
that a movie that we covered with you, Jax, back in those days? No, okay.
That was what's her name who did that with us. Ruth. Who now works for Paul Green. She was on that episode.
Yeah.
Ruth Hill.
Yeah, Ruth Hill was on that episode with us.
So you picked Ruth over me.
No, we did
You're
Wes
always
Brown.
our second. You're always the second pick for us.
That's okay. I don't mind being second
and
string.
Ruth was not available for this today, in fact, which is crazy.
Yeah, it was Tyler Hines, Ruth, and then
Ruth,
of course.
me.
Yes, of course.
At least I was third. Third time's a charm.
That's
Third
right.
times. I don't know if that's what that means, but yes.
Blind is a bat is long.
That's
I can tell you
exactly
that.
right.
That's what I say.
Really long bat.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll get to the wait what and the chicken fried.
Chicken fried.
Chicken fried. Here in that moment. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking Chicken Sisters, episode 1. Friends, family is friends. Family is family.
Family's family. Friends, family, friends of family,
Friends are friends forever.
Family.
Let's get to the wait what. So we're talking about what in this episode. Minutes ago. Wait, what? We'll start with you, Jax.
Bran, I think you just did a really excellent. I have two, but you did a really excellent job of covering the Sergio of it all.
Yeah.
The chemistry of it was interesting in the fact that it really felt like the kind of chemistry and connection you have when it's like a single mom or widowed mom. And it wasn't just like Hallmark has their like infidelity things that you're like, oh, is this going to happen? What's going on? But this felt different. So yes, I was shocked, but excited to see where it goes. And then also this was another thing that I was proud of Hallmark Plus. You know, we have Amanda and she's a vegetarian. And even though the town is kind of like, what, how, like the woman at the grocery store, we don't get the idea that the show is making fun of her for it. Just that she's out of place in the town. And the whole thing, the running thing in a lot of these Hallmark things, especially like 4 or 5 years ago, was that like vegans and vegetarians were weirdos.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting that vibe from this. And also I think there's probably an interesting story there. If she's a vegetarian who's, you know, grown up around chicken and has made her whole life like a chicken restaurant. I'm curious.
I love that your wait whats are typically just more like all the feels. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
I like that they did this.
Yeah.
I think that's really sweet. I really like that. We've talked about the first 4 minutes, but the first 4 minutes absolutely is a wait what. And just as what you expect out of Hallmark, you don't expect a hell. You don't expect a woman bouncing in front of a pastor. You don't expect blood and teeth flying at the camera. You don't expect a woman clearly wanting to have smacks with her husband. You don't expect that out of Hallmark. And so
What was the last one?
smacks. Smacks.
Got it. Okay.
The S word.
Okay. Got it.
SEXX hockey sticks.
You don't expect it. And so I just kept being like, what is happening? And so to their point, I thought that it ended up working really well. But my first wait what is mainly just like, I can't believe this is happening type of thing. But my other wait what is, boy, that hush puppy was massive. There's there's a hush puppy in this episode. And
that's a hush full-grown dog.
That's exactly right. You need that on a big ol'. This is a hush. You better be over 80 pounds, or there's dog that's not going to do anything for the dog. The puppy is huge. This hush puppy's huge. Yeah. It's a huge hush puppy.
It's usually a sign people know how to make hush puppies.
I'd like to.
That's hush puppy is like a golf, like a softball.
I'd like to eat it. It looked. I mean, I'll eat a big old hush puppy if you want me to. It's not a hush puppy. It's more like a loud puppy. Dano?
So Jax mentioned that one of our leads is a vegetarian, and they don't make fun of it, but they do bring to light the fact that she thinks killing chickens is basically inhumane, and she runs a fried chicken restaurant. So like she's not a vegetarian because she just wants to eat more plants and not any meat. She doesn't think you should kill chickens, and that is literally her job. And I don't think that makes sense. I don't think they were making fun of her, but I also don't think if you were a vegetarian because of the treatment of animals, you couldn't possibly be the assistant manager at a restaurant that fries chickens, could you?
I mean, cognitive dissonance, you know?
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Exactly. Cognitive dissonance. You get it.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
I almost
double X hockey sticks.
I almost brought it up.
Yeah.
The cognitive dissonance.
Of course you did. Yeah. Frank Jr. might be a terrible human being, and I'm sure we'll see more if he really is. I think he is. What I can tell you is he wears a 3/4 length T-shirt to go to bed in, and that's a monster. That is a monster.
Truly.
3/4 length. That's not a long sleeve T-shirt for bed, which would be real tough. 3/4 length T-shirt for bed.
You sleep naked?
Is he do what? I just sleep in a pair of boxers. What about you, Brian?
Yes, same.
Same or naked? Just the
I'll
boxers.
let you decide.
You let me decide?
Yeah, I'll let you
Great.
decide.
This is an interesting
We're not going to
conversation.
ask Jax. We're not allowed.
I can't imagine.
No, I have really cute pajamas from a place called Katie Kime. They're
Yeah.
not sponsoring me, but they have adorable PJs.
That's Sparkle
So they're
Queen
lovely.
at katiekime.com. Is that understood?
That's my understanding.
That's right.
I can't imagine
I
wearing
was just
any
waiting for
shirt
the
to bed,
moment.
but would you at 3/4 length long sleeve?
Well, it depends. I've slept in a sweatshirt before.
Real a sweatshirt?
Yeah,
A
if I
sweatshirt
want to,
before?
like sometimes I want
Yeah.
like if it's real cold and I don't want to turn on the heat, kind of like today. I like getting cozy and taking a little nap like that.
No. And then last but not least, thank you though. That was really good. Last but not least,
Well-
you and I have been on a few sets, TV, movie sets.
Yes,
Jax
we
has been on
have.
more sets than we have.
Off Broadway.
Off Broadway.
Off.
At the beach near Florida. Here's the thing. The big twist at the end of this episode is Rukia Bernard and Kitchen Clash shows up, and Frank Jr. goes, I called him and told him to come a week early. No, that's not how that works at all. You can't. Listen, you and I had to do a media day for South Carolina Public Radio. They needed a month in advance for a camera crew to be there. We got there. They were running an hour and a half late. You cannot possibly make a call to the Food Network and go, could you come a week early the day before? And they're like, yeah, everybody's ready. We're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs waiting for you to give the go ahead.
We were hoping. We were hoping we'd get that call.
That's just not how that works. And I know it creates great drama and it creates the entire setup for the television program. But Frank Jr. can't just call up and be like, you know when's good for us? Tomorrow. And then the whole billion-dollar company is like, great. As long as it's good for the little guy, that's what we're going to do. That just is not, it ain't flying. Not happening.
It's not flying.
That's right.
It's not flying. It's time for Chicken
Fried. Yeah.
where we talk about whether or not something is making us scared, like a little chicken, or we think something's good to go, like it's perfectly fried.
Hey,
Jax?
Jax, you ate a lot of fried chicken when you eat a lot of fried chicken when you come and
Yes.
visit us, but normally you don't, right?
No.
So
no,
you
just when I'm with my boys.
Are you excited for the marathon to get back to that fried chicken?
to get back at
That's
it.
right.
Yeah,
Well,
to
it's my
throw away all.
It's my understanding
my vegetarian
Alonzo is
principles.
cooking meals for us, so maybe it won't be.
I mean,
I
I'm
think
gonna
he's
eat
doing-
some fried chicken.
Yeah, and he's doing a lot of baked goods.
Yeah,
I
he's
believe,
baking.
right?
Okay. Yeah, he's baking. Yeah.
Yeah, he was asking about nut allergies.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. People put nuts in all sorts of stuff.
That's right.
I love nuts in
And
my
peanut
fried
oil
chicken.
for your fried chicken.
That's right.
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Put
Good
some
point.
nuts on a salad.
Yeah.
I'll-
Crusted.
Can I tell you what I'm going to do with this segment because it doesn't make any sense? I'm going to tell you which. I get the feeling that every week they're going to try to sway you one way or the other on which of the restaurants.
Yes.
So are you Franny or Mimi? Is that's how I'm going to treat this segment. I'm going to tell you which one I'm with and why. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay,
Ooh,
you can
okay.
do that too.
But you can also do the thing where you're like, was it chicken and scared or was it fried and awesome?
Yeah.
It's up to
You
you.
can do whatever you want to with this segment.
Totally.
I
your call.
would say, okay, was it chicken and scared or fried and awesome? I think that I'm very, I'm very
honk.
excited. I'm very excited to see where this little rivalry or whatever happened between May and Rukia Bernard's character, wherever that originated. So I am excited. I think that's fried. I
Yeah, you
think
think
that
it's fried,
it's fried, baby. And I can't wait to find out more about whatever that is. For a second, I was like, did they have a thing? That would be hot.
Yeah.
Did who?
Hot as
did whom,
fried chicken.
Did whom have a thing?
Rukia Bernard and
Oh, I see.
May.
I see.
I was like, did they is this
It
like, oh, we
seems
fell out?
Yeah.
Well, I'm in a similar vein. I'm feeling a little chicken because they make some.
So that means you're scared, right?
Yes. I'm
Okay. I just
scared.
want to make sure I
They're
get it right.
making some teases that there's some serious.
They're making some teases.
They're making some teases that
They're
there's some,
teasing us.
No, they're making some teases that there's some serious spooky season, serious skeletons in this family's closet, more than what we know at this point.
Yeah.
What what are those skeletons? And is it going to be scary? I don't know, but I'm intrigued by it.
What would it take to turn those teasings and just put them in the hopper and fry them on up? What would it take?
Revelation.
Revelation, the book of
From
the
the
Bible?
Lord, yeah.
Okay, great. Got it. So let me tell you why I'm Mimi's and not Franny's this week.
Hey, if you want to do this dumb thing, that's fine.
Like Wendy Malick's character seems the most unreasonable of any of the any of the
Yes.
characters on the program right now, even more so than Leah Thompson's character or Frank Jr.'s character. I think Frank Jr. is just dumb and an idiot and selfish. He's not unreasonable. I think he's stupid. But the reason Mimi's is the most unreasonable is her restaurant hasn't sold out. She believes that the reason her restaurant is special is because it hasn't changed anything, and Franny's is trying to, franchise. They sell frozen mozzarella sticks. They do these other things. And so right now, even though she's being unreasonable, I feel like what's a better story than seeing someone who's always done something a certain way continue to have that magic while also seeing that there's benefit in progressing and changing. And so the character that's really calling my heart, if you will, to bring it full circle,
Yes.
is
That's not what this
is
is.
Wendy Malick's character, because I know that she's capable of changing and moving forward. And so if I was going to go to a restaurant in Recano, where's this place? Merrimack. I would go to Mimi's because it seems as though they care more about how things have always been done. So I'm going to go Mimi's this week. But listen, things could change next week. You never know. Fry it on up.
All right, fair enough. It's time for Chicken of the Week. It's where we somebody submits chicken, and then we do a spotlight on them. Dan, who do we have today?
This week's chicken is Gracie. Gracie. That's all we get.
Great. No more information.
Gracie, I have her stats. A hen, 2.4 pounds, lays 3 eggs a week.
Okay, interesting.
Chicken of the week.
Hello.
Gracie?
No.
It's
No.
okay.
I'm Gracie's farmer.
Are you
Farmer.
Farm Nest?
I know there was maybe another name.
What in the HEXX double
I
hockey
thought
sticks is
maybe
going on?
there was like a different name for like.
You think
female
a
farmer.
female farmer has a
Maybe a
different name? I'm glad
farmess.
we have Jax's face in the
Maybe
frame
a
right now.
farmess, right, Jax? Maybe a farmess.
A farmette, a farmer, and a
Farmette?
farmette. Could you make it any more patronizing?
I'm not trying.
What's your name, Farmess?
Janie.
Farmess Janie.
Yeah.
So why did Gracie get the nominee
It's
for
my
Chicken
first
of the
time
Week?
on TV. Give me a break. I
Okay,
didn't know.
but it's just your voice.
Well, no, Philo.tv says DTH.
You'll see. What is the why did Gracie get the nom? Why'd she get the nod this
She's
week?
questioning it. A lot of these it gets kind of the fall time and they start getting a little spooked out. There's lots of ghosts at this
Yeah.
time of year, witches and their brooms. Gracie takes all that in stride.
Adult hen, 2.3 pounds,
Yeah.
three eggs a week.
Lot.
How is that? I don't know.
For this time of year, it's crushing it.
That's crushing it.
I
Okay.
don't think you understand how spooked out and into the demonic these chickens
Are
and
they
these
really
hens
into
are.
the demonic?
Yes.
Do you think if you had a couple more farmesses there, it would help?
I don't know. I think this is ridiculous. First of all, because I hear the mock, but I do think that it's important for everyone to know Halloween is not a joke. You guys run around. You put on your costumes.
It's
you
early
put your-
September.
I know, but I know.
What
but
are you talking
all
about?
the people that the
It's like
Halloween
6 weeks
the
from now.
Halloween shops pop up all
But
over the place.
I just want to know what this has to do with Gracie being
Tell me-
Chicken of the
tell me
Week.
this. Have you been driving around your town? You see the Halloween towns popping up and all this stuff? Like the stores?
Halloween Express?
Yes.
Great.
It's not a joke.
Okay.
Like these are
What did
real
you say your name
animals.
was one more time?
It sounds like Baby Jack is auditioning for the
It
role
does.
of Farmess.
It sounds a
I
little
don't
bit
know
like
who that
Farmess
is. I
Baby
don't
Jack.
have a TV. But I do think, once again, guys, it's not a joke. And if you could just stop it with the costumes, stop it. Like, and then you run around and you throw eggs at people's houses. That's a waste. Especially this time of year. Even our best hen's only 3 eggs a week. That's the best we got.
Okay.
Don't waste
All
them.
right. I think somewhere in there we did officially name Gracie Chicken of the Week.
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much.
Is there a
Whatever
medal?
your name is. In the mail. It'll be in the mail.
A medal or a trophy?
Chicken of the Week, everybody.
Medal or a trophy?
I'm so glad we did this.
Is a medal or a trophy?
It's neither of those things. It's a
So
certificate. It's a
man,
certificate.
This is what I get.
You've never even been on TV, Jeanette. What did you say your name
Janie.
was? Janie. Got it.
I'm out of here.
I got to change my mind on this. I think I'm frying. I'm frying.
Right, fair enough.
That's what I'm doing. I'm frying it.
We did it, everybody. It's been a lot of fun. And the good news is if you're done with this episode, another episode's about to start right on up. Whether you're listening or watching us on Philo, you can click that next episode because we're about to talk about Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 2.
That's right.
Chicken Sisters 2 is what we're talking about. Until then, maybe the first to wish you a
Merry Christmas!
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.